greatest man alive in human form. Welcome, welcome. Wele come, wele come, wele come. Welcome. Break down the word. Can be my language. It is my language. The ancestors told me I see the progress. Kurichiba, 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 bo, wele come, wele come, wele come, po, wele come, wele come, wele come, me, kurichiba, kurichiba, kurichiba. Kurichiba, Kurichiba, Kurichiba. Ha! Welcome everyone. My name is Chimoge. You can also call me Moge. Government name Chimoge Chijoge Ibe. Given name Chimoge. Fun fact from the ancestors. Your government name should be bootleg. What am I talking about? Something I'll explain on the Hand of God. But basically, you should have a given name that's good, other names that are good. Then you should have your government name. You just get a leadership group to validate you exist, and you should use something bootleg to ward off spells. Interesting. Anyway, don't change the government name. It's not that deep. Anyway, your government name is not your proper name. Anyway, let's take this off. Yeah. You don't think there was groups of leadership in Africa before the snowman came? Before the snowman came, there was no government. Anakizi me, anakizi me, kizi me. Just you and me, no government. Of course, it was in a different form. I don't know what to do with that. It's just like, the proper way things should be. First of all, we have to start being real. History did not, reasonable people could debate how old our planet is relative to other ones. I don't know all the information. We're not the newest one, but I don't know where we stack. Ancestors tell me we're relatively new. But anyway, it's kind of hard to parse out. How many planets are there? Anyway, the whole point is, registered 14 viewers on my channel. I'm shining. Thank you very much. Also got 2 comments. Thank you. I read comments at my discretion. Every view is a blessing. Every comment is a blessing. Let me get a bit more serious here, though. Because we're not the only planet, and because of how big the universe is, we're definitely not the only planet with life. When talking about history, we can't just look at our planet. Obviously, we really don't know much about other planets. But if you're trying to rebuild society, you can't just do this thing where you go, there was the vast abyss before snowman came, and then snowman came. But you also can't do this thing where you say snowman made it better. Jesus loves everyone. That might be the problem. No, I've learned a lot about Jesus. Jesus is not a good person. That's why his brothers and sisters rejected him. Now, of course, if your brothers and sisters are evil and they reject you, you're a good person. That's not what's going on with Jesus in hell. Jesus is committing acts of war that destroy his lineage. Therefore, his brothers and sisters reject him. Jesus is going for the 3-eyed baby. Anyway, that's why he doesn't have a wife. At least not one that'll claim him. Oh my God. Alright, but anyway, enough about that whole person that you all worship. Ooh, I just saw 444. The ancestors approve. But anyway, back to the discussion of history. So again, increasing my level of seriousness. Once again. So really, again, that nexus of history I just described is improper. So first, when discussing history, you have to go, okay, first, what should have happened? What morally correctly should have happened? How should things go? Then you have to look at what happened. And you have to look at all of existence. Yes, that's vast. So you have to first go, okay, what happened on other planets? Again, right now we don't know much because we're in ignorance. Then on our planet, look. Right. So that's a very difficult process. And obviously, you can't take in everything at once. So you have to look at certain areas and certain indices. You have to narrow your scope, which people don't do a lot, right? Because asking questions like, what was it like in Africa before a snowman came? And I'm just using that because I don't always like to say white man, white person, whatever. It's not always pleasant. But what was it like? Maybe I'll just say, what was it like before? There's really nothing. That's what people are talking about. I guess just to let people know I'm serious, I'll just say, if you're always asking questions like, what was it like before, white people came to Africa, you'll get a little lost. Not because it's not important to figure out how the oppression of the white race has affected the world. It's just what was it like? That's too general of a question. You're literally asking what were cockroaches doing in Africa before white people get it. It's too much. It's too much. You have to narrow your scope down, right? So it'd be good to say, okay, for example, and again, these questions are deep, but what did most people do when consuming okra before white people came? And then go, right? So you have to look at how okra should be consumed. Then you have to go, okay, how has it been consumed throughout history and all of existence? Then go, okay, what happened on this planet in general, right? So the reason I'm talking about this planet in general is obviously the oppression of the white race has made everything worse. That's undeniable. And this is where I have to stop, because even after saying that sentence, people can become very stupid. But I'm just gonna say it. Just because white people made it worse doesn't mean that some black people didn't do something bad before that. Now, caveat to that, the implications of white people making it worse is that you should not be so concerned about what the black people did. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, we have to overcome that before we then start criticizing, people who are not as bad. Anyway. And then also, the degree to which you understand the context of those existences is limited right now. Anyway, I'm just playing my little flute. Yeah, even myself, because when I pray, and again, there's both subconscious and conscious prayer, and there's both outward and inward prayer, right? So inward prayer, you're just thinking, your ancestors dropped some ideas in there. Outward prayer, you do something like this. Expand forever, the black race, let's all pray. So various forms of prayer, I'm learning about my past lives, because we all have past lives. For some people, it's possible that this is your first life in this world. Because you have previous lives in other realms, but if this is your first life in this world, that's really the only one you should be concerned with, because your lives in other realms are kind of like baby lives, apparently. But anyway, that makes sense to me, because if you're meant to be in this world, this is the realm you should be most concerned with. But anyway, I learned about my past lives, and they tell me all the time, I don't even know the context of, my life 10,000 years ago, because they'll be telling me about a problem back then, but then they'll be like, yeah, but you can't even perceive it. Like for example, apparently wars back then didn't stop everything the way they do now, because people still had more baseline civility, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, but I'm just giving that example just to say, even when dealing with our own personal spiritual history, if you miss context, you have to be careful when looking at things. Anyway. Yes. Anyway, let's put up another short. Yes. Orange is Oshun. That's the title of this. Check out my video on Chimoge's comments about this, and then also the live stream I did. I guess it was 2 days ago now. It was a Hand of God segment about this. Getting the idea out there more. Think the sacral chakra. Think Sri Matre. Yes. Orange. Ugh. Maybe some of my pain comes from that I don't always stand all the way up. Like, obviously I'm standing up, but do I always have to be completely straight? I think it's just because I'm thinking, because when I play soccer again, I want to be able to dribble, but I'm not primarily a dribbler. It's weird. People now dribble badly, but they also dribble too much. Anyway. Abu Maka, aka kaka, Abu Maka, kaka, Abu Maka, kaka, Abu Maka, aka kaka, Abu Maka, kaka, Abu Maka, kaka, Abu Maka, kaka. I am the kaka, Abu Maka. Who? Aka, Abamaka, bam, 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 aboom, bam, bam, aboom, bam, bam, aboom, bam, bam, abame, aboom, kabame, aboom, Emerike, Ekejike, O2, aboom, pop, aboom, pop, aboom, pop, aboom, tiripiri, pop, aboom, pop, aboom, pop, aboom, pop, aboom, ka, aboom, fema, D-O-ha, fema, fly, ma, no, also with a D, husband, and also that means something. It's hard for me to translation, but say someone stops you and you like just are looking from the innermost part of your being, which is not something I do much. Different people have different relations with that. But anyway, I tend to do that to other people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people. Different people are different. D is that thing. And then Oha is the people. Fema D-O-Ha. What does that mean? Basically, it's like when you stop and you're flexing. Boom. Fema D-O-Ha. You just fly, you know my deal. You fly, you know my deal. Fly, no 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 my deal. Yeah, I'm stunned. Black man stunned. Check on your loved ones, everyone. Check on your loved ones. Times are tough. But also, in general, you should just check on your loved ones anyway. Part of the reason times are tough is because people got out of the habit of checking on their loved ones anyway. Public service announcements. Fema Dioha. Abuma Madioha Manson. Abum Pia Kwansu. Aname Pia Kwansu Nuan. Webu Ekwansu Duya Nozoya. Abum Kamala Kaka. Abum Abame and Yibruhaha. Abum hit the paper. I hit the paper. Pia Ekwansu. Hit the paper. Pia Ekwansu. Hit the paper. Jide Ama. Pia Ekwansu. Jide Ama. Pia Ekwansu, Jide Ama. Pia Ekwansu, Jide Ama. Pia Ekwansu, Pia, boom, Pia Ekwansu, Jide Ama. Pia Ekansu, Jide Ama, Jide Oha, Abumu, Abumezu, Wanke, Uwanka, Abum Wanke, 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 Tata, Abum Wanke, 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 Tata, Wanke, 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 Oha, Abum Oha, Abum Kanoha, Abum Kanoha, Anke Oha, Akadamoha, Ohane, So, Aname Fanwa, Abum Onishiyeko, Aname Fefu, Naboom, nothing, yaffle, boom, baffle. I am the bath. Gat. Nabe Kwansu, the turtle. Nabe Kwansu, the turtle. Nabe Kwansu, the turtle. Le Nabe Mane Kwansu. Nabe Ne Kwansu. Look at those turtles. Labe la 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 la. Aboom la 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 la. Aboom Allah Amadioha. The matter of the good husband of the people, the land of the God of thunder. I am the land of the God of wonder. I am thunder. I am wonder. I am the good one. I am O2, 122. I am the adder. I add, I'm adder. I am the adder. You be subtractor. Adder, weapon subtractor. Kanuwa, ka. And make y'all number Y. See you guys next time.